Hi there, it's only me. You'd like Frantic Raglan's daughter come to ruin your YouTube viewing as per. Oh, do you know, I can't get anything right today. I really can't. Oh, there we go, that's better. Hope you're all doing okay. Sorry about the panting in the background. It's not me. That was me about 5 minutes ago trying to find my glasses. But it's Simba running around like a demented poodle. But anyway, so I hope you're all okay with all this ease of lockdown. It's very scary here in town because everybody seems, oh, everything's all back to normal now. That's how they're acting and reacting. And they've even taken the barriers down in Asda's for the queuing. So the gods only know what's happening there. Because it is a superstore we've got. It's not a tiny one, it's quite a large one. So it looks like they're going to have loads and loads of people coming in and not bothering with... why is it so dark? I'm not bothering with... it's there. I'm not bothering with all the queuing up and social distancing stuff, which is very, very scary. Simba, please, come on. Thank you. But anyway, so I'm just moving the camera towards... Go towards the light, Caroline. Caroline. Sorry if that triggered you in any way. But anyway, so my last video, I got a comment off a friend of mine, a mate of mine, that said that she watched about 9 minutes and she was in tears because of what I've been through. And like I said to her, I said, other people have been through worse than I have and they're still cracking on. So, but, you know, I'm cracking on as well. But, you know, and of course, over the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking about other things that happened to me when I was a child with my mother, which, looking back now, she would be in prison if she did all that today. And she definitely would be in prison for it, because of what she did to her two eldest kids. I don't know what she did to my younger brother, because I left home when I was 5 years old, so I don't know how she was like with him. But, yes... and of course, I don't talk to neither of my brothers now because apparently, for what I did when I was there, which just being me basically, and my mother hates me anyways, so she's never liked me. So so she just basically turned my two brothers against me, which is their prerogative and it's their choice, and they rather choose sides with a woman that can't. You know, that doesn't deserve the name mother. If they want to listen to her about the stuff that I supposedly had done, I wasn't a very good child. I wasn't, you know, so I wasn't a well-behaved child. Far from it. But you know, with what I went through. By her hands is just awful, absolutely horrendous, and I'm surprised I'm not in prison myself, actually, to tell the truth, because you know, I could have used that to ruin my life, which I nearly did anyway in other ways, like through drugs and alcohol, but feeling sorry for myself, got to work with me kind of thing. But I finally you know, thought I made my mind up and said, right, no, that's enough. I can't blame her for my life. She's ruined enough of it, so I can't let it ruin any more. But anyway, you know, if it wasn't for my uncles and aunties, which were marvellous when I was a kid, I don't think I would know what love, real familial love would have been. One uncle in particular used to take me in over night time, and his wife used to take me when I used to stay there, and my mother used to just ship me off to various uncles and aunties. And one of them, I've got three daughters, and I used to stay there. I loved staying there with my uncle and auntie there. My other uncle and auntie, they had no kids then, but apparently since then he's died apparently, and he's got a daughter that's out in America. She's a big lawyer out in America, so which is really good. So there you go. And other uncles and aunties always made sure I was okay when they saw me, which, you know, so which was lovely. So many aunties and 2 uncles and 5 aunties, four aunties. But anyway, such a long time ago, and you know, so there's 3 that do stick, 3 aunties that do stick out, that always were there, with a kind word and a loving hand, and you know, so and of course there was my grandmother as well, so which I still miss to this day actually, even though she died when I was 10 years old, 11 years old, sorry, I still miss her because she herself made my life a hell of a lot more bearable than it would have been if it was just my mother. You know, so there are a lot of people out there that I'm thankful for in my family that that were helpful and were there. And I know that if they could, they would have done a lot more. And if they knew even half of what was going on behind closed doors, I'm sure that they would have helped and done something about it. Today, it would have been done. It would have been done straight away today. Social services would be involved, even though they weren't involved in those days. But I think I remember seeing a social worker twice my whole life with my mother. And then, of course, when you were 16 or when you left school, they gave up on you. You know, so that and every time they came, they'd ask me in front of my mother, which I've said this before, if I was okay and if I was happy and stuff. And of course I had to say it because I knew if I didn't say it, I would get beaten up by my mother after they'd left, after they'd gone. And that's how my life was. I was working when I was about 11, 12 years old in a tiny supermarket. Well, it was a supermarket, one of the first supermarkets I'd ever seen in the nearest town. I worked there, school holidays and stuff like that, and you know, and then from then on, when I was 18, she finally kicked me out, and so she didn't want me back anymore, and I left. And then she saw me a week later. I found a place of my own. Then she saw me a week later. She said, "Oh, where have you been?" She said, "I've been waiting for you." She said, "I didn't really have them for you." She said, "Where have you been?" And I said, "Well, you told me to fuck off, so I fucked off." And I won't go into details why she told me to fuck off, but suffice it to say, it was to do with picking up my little brother from school. The reasons why I was supposed to be there doesn't matter, which is the fact that I couldn't make it. I was working, and I asked the boss's wife to do it. It was on a Tuesday. I remember it to this day. It was on a Tuesday, and my mother came out of hospital, and she was there to pick up my little brother from school. Something that she never did with me. She came to pick up my other brother. I've got a brother with the same parents. Both parents are the same, both mother and father, and my youngest brother is just with just the same mother. But she used to come and pick him up when I was at school, and I had to walk in front or walk behind, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So and I always thought that he was the favourite when I was younger. And talking to my stepsister, "Hi, Cara," that I always thought that he was the favourite, and he told her that he thought I was the favourite, and I never was the favourite. Never, ever was the favourite. How I saw it was my mother used to take my toys and give them to my brother. Or she'd sell stuff of mine to other people, and then she'd buy them back and give them to my little brother. A castle was one. Isn't it silly things that you do remember of your childhood? A castle was one, and that's the biggest present I ever got from my mother, and it was a castle, and it had a drawbridge and everything, and it was painted and everything. It was a really small thing. It was only about that big, and she sold that to a neighbour, and then she bought it back a couple of years later for my brother to give to him. She bought me a violin, and because I couldn't play it, Within a day she sold it. She was going to get a piano. I had a few piano lessons, but because she didn't get a piano, I couldn't practice, so it was pointless me carrying on with piano lessons. I would have loved to have done them because I've got long fingers and everything. I would have done okay as a pianist. So many things. It wasn't just the physical violence. It was the emotional, psychological things as well. How can you tell a 7-year-old that you're going to give them to somebody that they've never met, who is their father, they've never met, and all they've heard is bad things about them, and then your mother turns around and says, I've had enough of you, I'm going to send you to your father, and you've never met this guy, and according to your mother, he's an ogre, he's a horrible person, and she's going to give you to him, just like that. That was one of the stuff that she used to come out with. Other things were like, I never wanted you anyway, and that still carries on into today. Things like that. People say, oh no, but they didn't mean it. It doesn't matter if they meant it at that moment or not. If they say it often enough, you do believe them. She always said to me that she never wanted me. Well, she hasn't got me anymore, has she? I'm living my own life, and that's it, such as it is. But she never wanted me. I ruined her life. Just so many things, like even just a small percentage of it, of what she did to me. She would be in court and in prison for at least 3 months or something like that because it was horrible. It really was horrible, and no one should go through that, either in a relationship or especially with somebody that's supposed to look after you and protect you. And the only people that protected me weren't around me after 11 years old because my grandmother died, and she lived just down the road. All my aunties and uncles lived further away than that, and much further away than that. And of course, after my grandmother died, I was left on my own basically. And and that's where things escalated even more. Until one day when I was 14, I turned around and kicked her because she was chasing me down the garden. And I turned around and I kicked her in the stomach, and I shouldn't have done, and I know I shouldn't have done, and I regret doing it. But that was the day that she stopped hitting me and throwing stuff at me like bricks or whatever, because I remember having a fireplace, an old fireplace taken out of the kitchen. It was one of those really, really nice old-fashioned 1950s, 40s, 50s style fireplace in the kitchen, and that was being taken out and just shoved in 1930s, 40s, 50s kind of fireplace in there, all little tiles and little fireplace. And of course all the crap was in the front garden, and she started throwing stuff at me, and that's why I turned around and thought, she's going to break my back. And I just turned around and thought, right, fine, I have to do this for survival. And I did it. I kicked her, and I shouldn't have done, but that is what made her stop hitting me. And of course that day I thought to myself, I should have done this much sooner. I really should have. But hey ho, it is what it is. And that was, like I said, that was the day that the physical violence stopped, but the psychological carried on. But I used to scream back at her, and of course people used to stop me, say, oh, you must not have got what's going on or whatever, and I used to tell people to fuck off and mind their own business or whatever, and none of your fucking business and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? So I was an angry child. I really was an angry child. Looking back, no wonder. And then when I left home, people would blame me for everything, and they made me out to be a liar because I don't really particularly lie. I might say something off the cuff, and maybe I'd exaggerate a lot, but I don't lie. And people would make out that I was like, and of course people would believe them because they'd known them longer than me and everything like that, so I'd get beaten up and whatever. And I remember one incident when I was in Brighton. A friend told me to phone up her mother the local phone, the phone box. We didn't have mobiles in those days. The only thing that was mobile in those days were the bloody milk vans, and chip vans and ice cream vans. But and she asked me to phone up her mother and leave a message. So I did. Phoned up the mother, left a message with her sister and her 15-year-old sister, and her sister said, yeah, I'll do it. And a couple of days later, the parents turned up and said that they didn't receive the message, that the sister wasn't at home, the sister was out with friends, blah 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 blah, and they believed her and not me, which is, looking back, you just think, well, yeah, it's your family, So, and she just barefaced lied in front of me, and other people would do it as well. So I was to get beaten up left, right, and centre. I was to get bullied left, right, and centre for being. In those days, I thought I was gay, so for being gay, I was bullied for that. I was chased. I've nearly been killed a couple of times. One guy beat me up for about an hour until I pushed him away, kicked him out of the way, and I ran. And then, as I was running, he called me, and I looked back, and the look on his face, I knew he was going to kill me, so I ran off. And I had this long flowing robe. It was in the 80s, loves. This long flowing silk smoking jacket thing. And as I got home, got in, locked the doors, and made sure all the windows were locked and everything. And I took the jacket thing off, and it was ripped all down the back, slashed all down the back, and that could have been my back. It could have been killed there. And the woman I was living with, was sharing a house with, her husband heard me come downstairs, and he went, fucking hell, I got the police and the ambulance because this guy had stamped on my face so much of the whole of my face and my head and my ears and everything was swollen. It was only tiny little patch up here that wasn't swollen, so rushed into hospital. And it was the policeman that took me to hospital in the back of the police car, and I was a skinny wrench. I was skinny wrench. I really was very skinny. I used to be able to fit into like 6-8 clothes. That's how tiny I was. And first thing he said to me, well, we haven't got AIDS, have you? And I'm there going, no, because that was when the AIDS thingy first came out in the 80s and early 80s. And of course I went to hospital, and that's the first thing they asked me there as well. Because the policeman turned around and told the doctor that I was gay, and the doctor came over and said, "Oh, you haven't got AIDS, have you?" And I'm thinking, no, because I wasn't active, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't running around, panting for bodily intimacy in those days. So I'd play around with guys, and that's it, but I wouldn't go all the way as well. There was about 4 days, and I remember in the hospital, bless him, he was stunning, he was a young doctor, and he said, we have to do this. He said, we have to take the pressure out of the ears because the skin and the blood vessels aren't touching the cartilage. And if that carries on, you will the cartilage will die, and you'll just have flaps of skin for ears. He said, so we have to relieve the pressure of the swelling. I went, okay. So he did one, like big needles out, I shoved right in just to get all the liquid out. And then he said, look, he said, I can't be bothered, he said, to walk around the bed. He said, do you mind if I straddled you? And I'm thinking, I don't mind at all. And he was very cute, bless him. He was very, very cute. I can't remember his name, but he was really cute, young, but about in his 20s. And, and other things as well happened to me. And then from there I moved to London, and I think that's where my life really began, really. I was still being bullied by certain people when I was living in London, and then because I used to get mixed up with different people and whatever, and it just really, really strange, really weird, and you'd always get one or two that took a dislike to me, and then they, everybody else would say, well, I like that person better than you, so I'm hanging around with that person now, so and therefore I have to hate you kind of attitude, and that's how it was. And I was on the nightclub scene as well in the 80s in London. I worked there with loads of people, and then moved away from there, worked in a pub in Hampstead, of all places, and because I was living in Wembley Park, but not far from Wembley Arena, so every time they had an open air concert, I'd be able to hear it. I just opened the bedroom window and I'd be able to hear it. It was lovely. And one Sunday morning I went to work, and because I was late, I wanted to be in at 9 o'clock, I couldn't get there, so I got there for 10:30. Before the pub opened, and he went mental, and then he said to me, "I don't want people like you here anyway." So I thought to myself, oh, okay. So he got really nasty, and of course in those days there was no protection towards anybody that was gay or trans or anything like that. A lot of sexism was going around. It was people weren't as woke as they are now, kind of thing, towards stuff like that. And of course, you know, so, and you had no leg to stand on when they come out with stuff like that. And it really was. And then from there, I used to, from there I got myself a bed sit in just outside Notting Hill, can't remember it now. But anyway, just outside Notting Hill. And while I was there, I met my first ever proper boyfriend. We stayed together 4 years. Richard, he's now married with kids, which really blew my mind. But I think he was messing around with girls anyway when I was with him, especially the first year I was with him, because he used to go out on his own and then he'd come back at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and stuff. And after about 3 or 4 months, he'd asked me if could have an open relationship, and I went, no, all or nothing. Ended up running a shop in Kensington, and that was quite fun because it was like a gothy kind of alternative grungy, what we now call grungy kind of shop, mostly black and purple outfits and loads of silver jewellery and everything. And that was the best times of my life, because I used to work during the day and then go out over the weekend, and that was the time I did my childcare course with a friend of mine, Sarah, who's still in London, still with her girlfriend, and which I'm over the moon about, because they were so suited, and you know, they're such a lovely pair of people. They're a really lovely couple. I haven't seen them in decades, obviously decades. Well, anyway, so from the bedsit, in the same building, there was a studio flat going, so I moved in there, and with my own kitchen and own bathroom. It was lovely, and I moved in there with my then boyfriend Richard. And then when we were there for about a year, I was there about 18 months, no, about a year, a flat came, a one-bedroom flat came, and basement flat, and we took that. The landlord of the studio flat and the bedsit was the same landlord, and he said, oh, we're just debating whether to give it to you or give it to this other guy who look after the whole buildings that we own, kind of thing. And we were going, yeah, we have to take comments, blah blah blah. And I turned around and gave him 400 quid there and then. And of course, cash talks. And he used to talk a lot in the early 90s in London, and still does, I suppose. And we moved in. A couple of days later, the guy wasn't happy, but he moved across the road. It was all fine. But anyway, so we from there, and then from there moved to Kent, and then from Kent to Cornwall, then Cornwall to Devon, blah blah blah, whatever like that. And of course, after Richard met someone else, and moved to Kent with Richard, and to a 2-bedroom cottage, beautiful cottage, and met people from London that used to go down Kent, and that's the reason why I moved to Kent, because a mate of mine moved down there. Hi Rita, if you're watching these, hi Rita darling, because she'd finished with her long time with her girlfriend. They'd been together for oh God knows how long, really long time, and it broke her heart, and she moved to Kent to get away from the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, and now they're best mates again now, which is nice. But she moved down there because her sister was down there and everything, her family was down there in Kent. So because she was down there. I went down there to make sure she was okay and everything, and took Richard with me, and we finished while we were there. But anyway, going back to London, one of the guys that I used to work with and lived with actually for a while, when we worked in a nightclub, bumped into him again. And he said to me, he said, "Do you know what, Tony?" He said, "I was such a hypocrite." He said, "I thought you were too camp." He said, "That's why I didn't want to hang around with you." And that shocked me. I thought he just didn't like me, full stop. And it's the fact that he said, the fact was he didn't like me because I was too camp, too outrageous. And this is from a guy that he used to wear 8-inch heels. I never. I tried and I couldn't do it. Break my neck. But he used to wear 8-inch heels and full makeup, full glam makeup on and everything, and both of us used to be mistaken for Boy George, which was nice. We used to go shopping sometimes and dressed up and whatever like Boy George and whatnot, and it was really weird. It was fun though, sometimes, very, very much fun. And of course Harrods, trying to get into Harrods, as I was, with no makeup on, I used to get up, shown out. Went there with my boyfriend Richard one day, and we got basically chased out. But anyway, that was it. And because we had shirt and trousers, check shirts on, and I think he had leather trousers on and I had my punky trousers on. But anyway, and the next day my mate John turned up and we got dressed up and went to Harrods, and all the doors were opened for us and we had a good look around and everything, and it was lovely. And when I used to work in the nightclub, me and a mate of mine used to go for breakfast at Harrods. Down in the basement, right in the basement, they've got a breakfast bar, and they used to open at 9:15 every morning. And because we used to work until we used to leave the club about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, then we used to hang around West Kensington, and we'll walk from Trafalgar Square to West Kensington, have a cup of tea there. Some cafes would open up early there for workers and whatever, and then we'd go to Harrods for breakfast, and we used to do that every Saturday morning, and then go home and then have a couple of hours kip and then go back, get back to work again. And that's how it was, and that's how my life was. But going back to my childhood, that was the worst time of my life, and I am glad that I got away from there in one piece, basically. It has affected me. I can't say that it hasn't. Trust issues, and things like that. And if somebody starts raising their hands, I think they're going to hit me. I've got PTSD because of it all. Of all what's happened to me, being bullied and stuff like that. So I'm on medication for that now, as well, on top of other medication I'm on. Grief. Here in the mornings and at night. So I've got 4 pills taken. What is it for? Oh, I can't remember how many pills I take, but it's just they're all there and I take them and everything. So some I take, some I don't. Sometimes I don't. So, but I've got to go back on one of them anyway, definitely. So, but those I can buy. I don't need them on prescription, which is fine. So, but yeah. So here I am, me again, me again. So and this is another long one. I am so sorry, and for boring you with everything. So there's a tiny little picture of me there with the recording thing, which is really doing my head in. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But that's why I'm moving to see if the picture's moving as well. It's not. It's just. But anyway, so yes. So but along the way, I have met some amazing people. Really have. I met some not so amazing people, like bullies and stuff like that. And of course, bullies are just cowards, really. So they're not happy with who they really are, and they try and take it out on other people. That's what bullies really are. But but I have met some amazing people along the way, and and I'm glad that I have met them, because without them, my life wouldn't be worth a lot, really. you know, even the ones that I met when I was much younger, when I was about 18, 19, 20, when I left home, it was, shut up please Simba, thank you. You know, so it was a blessing, because there are people out there that do show you love and kindness without wanting anything back. And of course, I got into drugs and everything like that because of you know, I can't blame everything on my mother, but she was the catalyst of most of the bad things I did in my life. So you know, so wanting to trying to fit in and all that crap or whatever. But anyway, so yes, but I met some amazing people along the way, and they made the bad things not seem as bad, if you know what I mean. They showed that that people do love you for who you are, that people do like you for who you are. You don't have to change for anybody, and that is a difficult thing to come to terms with, the fact that somebody likes you for you, because when somebody tells you, a member of the family, like your parent, tells you that you won't amount to anything, you're nothing, you're this, you're that, you know, all in the negative, and then somebody comes along that has faith in you and congratulates you on things that you've done or whatever, and you know, it gladdens your heart, it really does, and it shows that not all people are horrible, and not all people are out to get what they want, not all people are vile, selfish people, and there are lots of good people out there. The good people do outweigh the bad ones. But of course we always remember the bad parts, don't we? So, but I remember both good and bad, because I've had some amazing times as well. You know, so I've been so blessed. Ooh, pardon me. See that being nice just gets me in the throat. I'm only joking, but I've been blessed with the many people I've met. I might even write a book about it all one day, from my childhood up until I left home, and then from when I left home, and see how I go, see how I feel about it. I did try years ago. A friend of mine turned out and said, not a friend, but somebody said, you should write a book about your life, Tony. And I'm thinking, but my life's boring. But she said, Tony, you've done more. She said, I was in my 20s then. Was I in my 20s? Late 20s, early 30s. And she said, Tony, you've done more. She said, in your 30 years or 30 plus years of life, she said, that than I've ever done. She said, and I was like, oh, okay, so I might do that one day. I might just sit down when I'm about 82 and start to dictate. I know somebody who's a ghostwriter anyway, so I'll ask her how much she'll charge, how much she'll do it for. Should we now have a book out there about me, a tranny, yeah, a 55 or 56-year-old tranny, yeah, with big tits. But yes, so this is still a part of, this is part 2 of the last video, and there's a lot of other things that did happen to me that weren't nice, that I won't get into detail about, because I don't want to really. Don't worry, I haven't killed anybody, I haven't murdered anybody, I haven't mugged anyone, I haven't raped anybody, I haven't done anything like that at all. I haven't hurt anybody physically or emotionally, as far as I'm aware, emotionally. My intention is never to hurt people, but I suppose with this bloody gift of the gab, sometimes I do, which doesn't surprise me, but you know, I'm surprised that I still have the friends that I do, because the stuff that I do come out with sometimes I just think, well, and of course people just don't believe, do they? So they don't want to think, oh no, Tony's such a lovely person, isn't she gorgeous? Well, not gorgeous, that's pushing it a bit. Not even a blind man could say that this face is gorgeous. Look at the bloody state of it. Oh, grief, she needs a facelift. She needs something anyway. Vaseline over that there. No amount of Vaseline will make me look better, I can tell you, on the lens to make me look better. But anyway, look, I'm digressing, I'm wittering on like an old fishwife. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and if you think that this will help anybody, even if they're going through crap at the moment with their family, just you know, let them watch this and say there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can get through it, and if you are going through it, tell somebody, go to the authorities, tell the police or whatever, tell your tutor, tell your best friend, tell somebody, let somebody know that you're going through it and get the help, because no one has the right to hurt you physically, emotionally, or psychologically. No one has the right to do that to you at all. And now I see my mother as just a little old skinny old woman. I'm not even scared of her anymore. I used to be so scared of her. And I saw a picture of her a few years ago, and I thought, that's the woman I've been scared of over these decades. And look at her, she's just nothing. She's just a little old woman with no teeth, no personality, and evil bitch. There you go. But anyway, look, I'm going to try and see if I can cut this in half and whatever, because there's so much. I'm carping on and on and on as per, and you've got 2 weeks worth in one video by the looks of it. But anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you. Please share, please subscribe, and I don't get paid for doing any of this, so I don't get anything from it. The only thing I do get from it is the thought of helping one person, and that's, even if it's just one person, that's what I get out of it, is the fact that I can help just one person. You know, so to go, oh, that was me, or that is me, to recognise something and just say, oh, okay, no, I'm not on my own, I'm not alone. There are other people like me out there. There are other people out there that's willing to help and whatever, and just remember, you're not on your own. But anyway, so thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, please share the heck out of this, and I shall speak to you soon. I will do more videos. I'll start thinking about doing some really nice videos for the next couple of ones, because just to get away from all the or whatever about my life. So I might talk to you about one of the happiest days of my life. I might do, actually. One of them, that was my wedding day. But anyway, so I shall speak to you soon, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.